Question. To pass a slower moving vehicle on a two-lane, two-way road, you must. Option number 1. Not cross the center line. Option number 2. Flash your lights at oncoming traffic. Option number 3. Use the shoulder. Option number 4. Use the lane that belongs to oncoming traffic. The answer is option number 4. Use the lane that belongs to oncoming traffic. Question. What is the first thing you should adjust, if needed, when you get into a car to drive? Option number 1. Your seat belt. Option number 2. The steering wheel. Option number 3. Your rearview mirror. Option number 4. Your seat. The answer is option number 4. Your seat. Question. If you are driving on a one-way street and an emergency vehicle using its flashing lights approaches your vehicle, you must. Option number 1. Drive with your flashers turned on. Option number 2. Drive toward the nearest roadside and stop. Option number 3. Speed up and take the nearest exit. Option number 4. Slow down until the vehicle passes you. The answer is option number 2. Drive toward the nearest roadside and stop. Question. Which of the following is true about driving on a wet roadway? Option number 1. As you drive faster, your tires become less effective. Option number 2. Water does not affect cars with good tires. Option number 3. Deep water is less dangerous than shallow water. Option number 4. As you decrease your speed, the roadway becomes more slippery. The answer is option number 1. As you drive faster, your tires become less effective. Question. When driving on wet pavement, it's important to remember. Option number 1. That pavement is especially slippery right after it starts to rain. Option number 2. That wet roads can cause hydroplaning. Option number 3. To give yourself additional space when coming to a stop. Option number 4. All of the above. The answer is option number 4. All of the above. Question. At a light rail intersection, always? Option number 1. Look both ways before crossing tracks. Option number 2. Pay attention and obey all traffic signals. Option number 3. Share the road with pedestrians and bicyclists. Option number 4. All of the above. The answer is option number 4. All of the above. Question. If a person under 21 years of age consumes alcohol but is not driving a motor vehicle, the penalty for a first offense is option number 1. A 90-day driver license suspension and up to a $500 fine. Option number 2. A 6-month probation. Option number 3. A sentence to a corrections institution. Option number 4. Points on their driving record. The answer is option number 1. A 90-day driver license suspension and up to a $500 fine. Question. What should you do when you see this sign? Option number 1. Look for a train station ahead. Option number 2. Signal before going any further. Option number 3. Slow down and yield for trains. Option number 4. Stop. The answer is option number 3. Slow down and yield for trains. Question. When exiting a highway, you should slow down? Option number 1. On the main road, just before the exit lane. Option number 2. Once you see a toll booth. Option number 3. Once you have moved into the exit lane. Option number 4. When you first see the exit sign. The answer is option number 3. Once you have moved into the exit lane. Question. To prepare for anything coming up on the road ahead, you should? Option number 1. Continually scan the entire road and all roadsides. Option number 2. Stare straight ahead at all times. Option number 3. Drive with your left foot resting lightly on the brake pedal. Option number 4. Maintain focus toward the middle of the road. The answer is option number 1. Continually scan the entire road and all roadsides. Question. From the center lane, which maneuvers can you perform? Option number 1. You may make left turns. Option number 2. You may make U-turns. Option number 3. You may pass slow-moving traffic. Option number 4. All of the above. The answer is option number 1. You may make left turns. Question. The act of turning your head and checking your blind spot before changing lanes, driving away from a curb, or merging your vehicle into traffic is. Option number 1. A bad driving habit. Option number 2. A good driving habit. Option number 3. Unnecessary. Option number 4. Not necessary if you use the rearview mirror. The answer is option number 2. A good driving habit. Question. What can you do to avoid the need to make emergency stops while driving in traffic? Option number 1. Honk your horn to make others aware of your presence. Option number 2. Look ahead and maintain a safe following distance. Option number 3. Drive in the right lane only. Option number 4. Drive more slowly than the flow of traffic. The answer is option number 2. Look ahead and maintain a safe following distance. Question. A bicyclist who doesn't obey traffic laws. Option number 1. Is in the right because bicyclists don't have to obey traffic laws. Option number 2. Can be ticketed. Option number 3. Will always receive a warning from law enforcement. Option number 4. Will have their bicycle impounded. The answer is option number 2. Can be ticketed. Question. An orange triangle on the back of a vehicle indicates that the vehicle. Option number 1. Carries radioactive materials. Option number 2. Takes wide turns. Option number 3. Travels at slower speeds than normal traffic. Option number 4. Makes frequent stops. The answer is option number 3. Travels at slower speeds than normal traffic. Question. When faced with an oncoming car to the left and a bicyclist to the right, you should. Option number 1. Pull onto the shoulder. Option number 2. Split the difference. Option number 3. Let the car pass and then pass the bike. Option number 4. Pass the bike quickly. The answer is option number 3. Let the car pass and then pass the bike. Question. What should you be most concerned about when you see this sign? Option number 1. Driving with your headlights out of alignment because one side of your car is higher than the other. Option number 2. Damaging a tire from drifting onto the shoulder. Option number 3. Hydroplaning, if the shoulder has water on it. Option number 4. Losing control of the vehicle if you drift onto the shoulder. The answer is option number 4. Losing control of the vehicle if you drift onto the shoulder. Question. You may honk your horn when you. Option number 1. Have to stop quickly. Option number 2. Are passing another car. Option number 3. Have lost control of your car. Option number 4. Are passing a bicyclist. The answer is option number 3. Have lost control of your car. Question. Before changing lanes on a multilane highway, you should? Option number 1. Sound your horn. Option number 2. Turn on your headlights. Option number 3. Reduce your speed. Option number 4. Check your mirrors and blind spots. The answer is option number 4. Check your mirrors and blind spots. Question. If you experience a tire blowout, you should? Option number 1. Allow the steering wheel to move freely. Option number 2. Let the car slow to a stop. Option number 3. Continue driving until you reach a garage. Option number 4. Brake hard to stop the car immediately. The answer is option number 2. Let the car slow to a stop. Question. From top to bottom, the following is the proper order for traffic lights. Option number 1. Red, yellow, green. Option number 2. Red, green, yellow. Option number 3. Green, red, yellow. Option number 4. Green, yellow, red. The answer is option number 1. Red, yellow, green. Question. A solid white line on the right edge of the highway slants into the left. That shows that. Option number 1. There is an intersection just ahead. Option number 2. You are approaching a construction area. Option number 3. You will be required to turn left just ahead. Option number 4. The road will get narrower. The answer is option number 4. The road will get narrower. Question. Allowing a space cushion between your vehicle and its surroundings is important because it. Option number 1. Prevents distractions from other vehicles. Option number 2. Allows you time to react to unexpected situations. Option number 3. Keeps traffic flowing at a safe pace. Option number 4. Keeps other drivers alert. The answer is option number 2. Allows you time to react to unexpected situations. Question. When driving on an interstate? Option number 1. Stop on the shoulder of the road if you are tired. Option number 2. You should always use cruise control. Option number 3. Signal, check mirrors, and check blind spots before changing lanes. Option number 4. You should change lanes often. The answer is option number 3. Signal, check mirrors, and check blind spots before changing lanes. Question. When driving on wet roads, you should? Option number 1. Increase your following distance to 5 or 6 seconds. Option number 2. Decrease your following distance to 2 seconds. Option number 3. Not be concerned about your following distance. Option number 4. Maintain the 4-second following distance rule. The answer is option number 1. Increase your following distance to 5 or 6 seconds. Question. When driving through a work zone, it is a good safety practice to? Option number 1. Drive closely to the vehicle in front of you to keep traffic flowing freely. Option number 2. Shorten your usual following distance by about 1/2. Option number 3. Turn on your cruise control. Option number 4. Double your usual following distance. The answer is option number 4. Double your usual following distance. Question. The maximum speed limit in this state is miles per hour. Option number 1. 55 miles per hour. Option number 2. 50 miles per hour. Option number 3. 60 miles per hour. Option number 4. 70 miles per hour. The answer is option number 4. 70 miles per hour. Question. You are turning onto a 2-lane road divided by a broken yellow line. You know immediately that? Option number 1. You are on a 2-way road. Option number 2. You are on a 1-way road. Option number 3. The road is under repair. Option number 4. You must stay to the left of the broken yellow lines. The answer is option number 2. You are on a one-way road. Question. This sign is used to warn drivers about. Option number 1. Upcoming intersections. Option number 2. Road construction. Option number 3. An upcoming curve in the road. Option number 4. Changes in traffic lanes. The answer is option number 3. An upcoming curve in the road. Question. Defensive driving is? Option number 1. Identifying dangerous driving situations and taking action to avoid accidents. Option number 2. Defending yourself against poor drivers by getting ahead of them in traffic. Option number 3. Following the vehicle ahead of you at a close distance. Option number 4. Quickly changing lanes and shifting in and out of traffic congestion. The answer is option number 1. Identifying dangerous driving situations and taking action to avoid accidents.